so whatever. I don't. Right before sleeping, right after sleeping, whatever. During sleeping. Gotta turn your mic off. Potato chip eating Canadian guy. Oh, okay, you did. I could use some salty snacks.
What's the discussion?
I don't know. Penises. I think, where did we leave off? I don't remember. We were talking about the nasty Jews, speaking of penises. And then, what are we talking about? I don't know. And then before that, we were just talking about, Gary's a racist. No, we weren't talking about that. Life being futile and such. Yeah.
So if you're not a nihilist, what do you call yourself?
Gary. Yeah, that's what I call me, Gary. No, I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to say? I don't know. What, I'm supposed to make up a title for a philosophy? I don't know. I'll call it, I don't know. What? Inmendhamist. No. I'm a realist. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it realist. No, because I'm not for nature. Nature's a fucktard. So that'd be like calling myself an assholist. Fuck that. Nature's stupid.
Everybody wants to be called a realist.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, if you gotta take a label, I might as well take that one, right? So, whatever. I mean, I just don't see the point in the titling thing. The point is the philosophy, and I just don't know if it. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe there is a way to title it. Maybe that's appropriate. Maybe we just have to wait to do that. I mean, it's like most communist states aren't communist states. Most, I mean, nothing ever fits these descriptors. Democracies are not complete democracies, and they have all their corruptions and whatever. And so there's lots of arguments that can be made about the quality of our labels.
I call myself a clarificationist.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really work just because it's whatever. It's more like a verb than a noun or something. I mean, it's like calling yourself a flightist or something. I don't know. Well, whatever. It just doesn't seem to work for me. But whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's just there's nobody who's like, or spelled it all out, and I say, okay, you just go to that guy because he wrote a book about it and said exactly what I mean to say. I mean, I can't really do that.
What do you think about drugs?
Well, take him if you got him. Whatever, Some drugs is bad. Some drugs is good. Some places it's good to do drugs, some places it's bad to do drugs. But, generally speaking, I'm for liberty with accountability. Liberty with responsibility. So as long as you can responsibly use your drug, fine. But if you irresponsibly use it, well, then you should have the shit kicked out of you, literally.
What about a tool for philosophy? Do you think it helps you expand your mind?
Yeah, I think that's just a bunch of silly propaganda. I mean, I don't see how anybody on LSD, Timothy Leary didn't do anything. He didn't accomplish a motherfucking thing. I mean, he ended his career basically going on tour with what's his face, that crazy loony Nixon break-in guy, the rat eater. Became a clown. We're gonna do shows together and just laugh at how silly the '60s were. That's his big accomplishment. I mean, during his dying days, people were just, eat, drinking, and being merry on his deathbed, so to speak. I mean, I'm whatever. I'm just saying it's just a complete waste. There's nobody who did anything. LSD doesn't make productive humans. Doesn't make wise and sensible, and doesn't create any Martin Luther King. So fuck it. I mean, let people do whatever. I mean, if that's what they want to do, but don't pretend that you have some insight into what life means because you went on a psychedelic experience. I mean, it's just a crock of shit.
No, it's actually a molecular biologist who made a discovery on LSD, which won him the Nobel Prize in Chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a powerful drug, but it does not. That's it. I mean, you don't find the truth by warping your psychology. It's just stupid. I mean, it's not how brains work.
The only reason I ask is that there's a society out there that's devoted to pushing the limits and testing drugs and as sort of a means of expanding philosophy and psychology. And I mean, there is an argument to be made that when an LSD user is having this trip, he's having similar experiences to a philosopher, except he just can't really reel it in and repeat it in words afterwards.
Yeah,
so it's kind
all
of a
he's
waste.
all they're doing is fucking a train. Okay, I mean, I had a dream. I fucked a train. Okay, that's all they're doing. Let's not pretend they're doing anything else. They're just fucking trains. So whatever. I mean, like again, they're not augmenting in any rational way the story, the narrative, the truth of our existence. Consumption, reproduction, 2 billion years of evolution, blah blah blah. All they're doing is having an emotional experience where I hugged the planet. It was so incredible. I actually hugged the planet, and then we made love. I made love with the planet, and blah blah. It's just a pile of crap. It's a fucking personal experience that they have.
It seems to me
using as some sort of gateway to some sort of bullshit, but it's emotional bullshit.
Whenever something seems to be like emotional to you, like it seems whenever there's meaning anywhere, you kind of call it an emotion and call it bullshit afterwards. I mean, for you made a video in response to me and you said something about, yeah, I'm not a nihilist, I care about meaning, but if it doesn't come in emotion, where do you find your meaning?
Emotions are the mechanism through which we experience it. What I'm saying is when we are intellectually describing it, that's a different event. All right, and we can only motivate our bodies through emotion, through feelings. We have to make ourselves want something for us to do something. So we have to either want to be proud of ourselves or happy with ourselves, or there has to be some sort of ego game that we have to play to make ourselves do what we intellectually might know is the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a guy who's going to jump on a grenade in a war to save his buddies, he has to make himself want to do it. All right? So he has to come up with some sort of psychology, some kind of story, some sort of thing that says to him somehow, my ego gets gratified by doing this act. I win by doing this. So he has to have some sort of
Gary, for you,
create that emotion.
What is where you're psyching yourself out? How do you get past the point where you're just psyching yourself out psychologically, where the state of the human being is at a point where they have meaning, but it's not just sort of this emotion